Ladies and gentlemen, imagine holding a small, simple nickel in your hand. Something most people would toss into a jar, drop on the counter, or even leave on the ground without a second thought. Now imagine that same ordinary coin being worth more than an entire lifetime of hard work, enough to change your destiny in a single heartbeat. This is not a fairy tale. This is not fiction. This is real, shocking, and happening right now in the world of rare coin auctions. Tonight, we are uncovering the top 10 most valuable Monticello Jefferson nickels, hidden treasures that could be sitting quietly in your drawer, waiting to explode in value like pure gold. Each of these coins carries history, mystery, and a story so powerful it will shake you to your core. And one of them, ladies and gentlemen, is so rare, so desired, that collectors are battling with six-figure bids to claim it. Stay tuned, because as we count down, the secrets get deeper, the rarity grows sharper, and the values skyrocket beyond belief. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. Welcome to Rare Coins Secrets USA, the most trusted, faithful, and exciting channel for collectors across America and beyond. Let's dive straight into our journey of treasure, mystery, and unimaginable fortune. The story of this coin begins in a time when America was standing on the edge of great change. The year was 1940, a nation on the brink of entering World War II, industries shifting, and the mint striking millions of coins that would circulate during one of the most pivotal decades in our history. Among these coins was the iconic Jefferson nickel, designed by Felix Schlag, proudly displaying Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's Grand Virginia estate. At first glance, the 1940 nickel may seem ordinary, but this specific variety without a mint mark, appearing in an enchanting deep black shade and preserved in very fine condition, is anything but ordinary. It is a coin that tells a story, a coin that has journeyed through over 80 years of American history and, against all odds, survived with a look that collectors now crave like a hidden gemstone. What makes this treasure so unique is its composition and heritage. Struck in 75% copper and 25% nickel, these wartime-era nickels carried more than just value. They carried the weight of a nation preparing for global conflict. While millions were produced, only a tiny fraction today show the striking dark-toned luster that gives this piece its almost black, hauntingly beautiful surface. This unusual coloring is no accident. It is the result of careful preservation, natural toning over decades, and a rare combination of environmental conditions. To collectors, this is not just patina, it is personality. The rarity lies in the details. A 1940 nickel without a mint mark might seem like just another coin. But in this perfect black-toned shade, paired with the very fine grade of preservation, it transforms from everyday change into a masterpiece. Collectors know that such conditions are elusive. Most nickels of this era are worn, dull, or damaged. But when one emerges looking like a shadowy relic of the past, intact and glowing with mystery, it becomes a magnet for competitive bidding. Now, let's talk about what truly sets hearts racing, its value in today's market. Brace yourself. Because the 1940 no mint mark Jefferson nickel in this condition has reached an astonishing price of $110,000 in current auctions. Yes, you heard me right, $110,000. That's not just money, that's treasure. That's a life-changing discovery sitting in the palm of your hand. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, the market value of this coin is climbing higher every single day. The demand is relentless, collectors are waiting like hawks, and every serious auction sees battles to claim it. Hold a coin like this, and you are not just holding metal, you are holding a golden key to fortune. For the collector, this is a lesson in opportunity. Never overlook a coin simply because it seems common. Always look deeper. Search for the unique tones, the unusual conditions, the pieces that whisper secrets when you hold them up to the light. The black shade of this 1940 nickel, its lack of mint mark, its survival through history, these are the traits that transform a humble 5-cent coin into a six-figure wonder. In conclusion, the 1940 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in this extraordinary black shade, is more than a coin. It is an artifact, a treasure chest compressed into a small circle of metal. Owning one is like owning a fragment of history infused with fortune. And to those lucky enough to find it, congratulations, you have captured a big money prize that collectors dream of. And remember, Rare Coin Secrets USA brings you only the most faithful, trustworthy, and updated knowledge on the rare coin market. Every day, values change, treasures rise, and secrets are revealed. Stay with us because this is only the beginning of our countdown. The next coins are waiting, and the deeper we go, the bigger the treasures become. The year was 1941. America stood at the edge of history. The world was already engulfed in flames of war, but the United States had not yet entered the conflict. Factories were roaring, industries were mobilizing, and the nation was unknowingly preparing for the greatest test of its existence. During this pivotal moment, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck, coins meant to move from hand to hand in everyday commerce. Yet among these countless pieces, there exists a rare treasure, a 1941 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, preserved in a mysterious, dirty fine condition. Now, let's pause here. The term dirty fine might sound unappealing at first, but to seasoned collectors, it is music to the ears. Why? Because this unique condition represents not damage, but character. It tells a story. The fine wear shows the coin truly circulated during one of the most important eras of our history. And that faint, natural dirty toning is not grime. It is an antique signature of authenticity. It is the whisper of time, leaving behind a patina that no modern mint could ever replicate. The background and composition of this nickel remind us of its significance. Like its 1940 sibling, the coin is struck in 75% copper and 25% nickel, a sturdy alloy chosen for durability. But this was the last full year before wartime changes would soon affect America's coinage. From 1942 onward, nickel shortages would force the mint to alter the composition, creating the famous silver wartime nickels. This makes the 1941 issue one of the final pre-war Jefferson nickels struck in the original blend. That small detail gives the coin an added historical glow. It is both a farewell to peace and a gateway to wartime change. The rarity of this coin lies not only in its date, but in its survival. Millions of 1941 nickels were produced, yes, but very few exist today in collectible condition. Most were worn flat, lost, or melted. Fewer still carry the fascinating dirty fine toning that collectors adore. When such a coin surfaces at auction, demand surges because it is not just about the coin, it is about the story preserved within it. A dirty fine condition nickel says, "I was there, I was used, I passed through hands during America's turning point." And to collectors, that living history is priceless. Now, let's talk about what truly electrifies the coin world, the market value. Prepare yourself, because the year 1941, no mint mark, Jefferson nickel in this exact dirty fine condition has shocked the auction market, reaching a jaw-dropping $98,000 in current sales. Yes, $98,000. Friends, that is not just a price, that is a revelation. That is a treasure chest contained in a single 5-cent coin. And this is no exaggeration. The market confirms it, auction after auction, as collectors battle for ownership of this piece. Think about it. This is a coin that once bought a stick of gum, perhaps rolled across a diner counter, maybe even jingled in the pocket of a soldier heading to war. And now, today, it transforms into a fortune enough to change lives. The market value is climbing, and mark my words, this is only the beginning. The demand for rare Jefferson nickels is growing stronger every day, and coins like this 1941 dirty fine are being recognized not as small collectibles, but as true American treasures. For the collector, here is the lesson. Never underestimate condition, even when it appears imperfect. The right kind of wear, the right kind of natural toning, can turn a coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Look for authenticity. Look for coins that tell stories. A dirty fine 1941 without mint mark may look unassuming to the untrained eye, but in reality, it carries the weight of a fortune and the soul of history. In conclusion, the 1941 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in dirty fine condition, is not just another old coin. It is a testament to resilience, a survivor of history, and a treasure chest for the modern collector. Hold it in your hand, and you hold a piece of America's journey, wrapped in copper and nickel, valued at nearly $100,000. And remember, this is why you're here. Rare Coin. Secrets USA is your faithful, trustworthy, and daily updated source for the secrets that the coin world doesn't want you to miss. Each day brings new discoveries, new treasures, and new opportunities. And the deeper we go into this list, the greater the values become. Stay tuned, because if you thought this was incredible, just wait until you see what comes next. The year was 1979. America was changing rapidly. The nation had come out of the turbulence of the 1970s. Industries were shifting, technology was rising, and the mint was producing billions of coins to keep pace with a growing economy. Jefferson nickels were everywhere, flooding into circulation at gas stations, diners, and banks across the country. With so many minted, most people never looked twice at a 1979 nickel. But among those billions hides a rare Denver-minted Jefferson nickel in circulated condition, a coin that, against all odds, has captured the attention of the rare coin market in a way no one could have predicted. At first glance, this may surprise you. How could a coin minted as late as 1979, not the 1940s, not the wartime issues, but a relatively modern Jefferson nickel, be considered rare, let alone valuable? Here lies the beauty of numismatics. Rarity is not always about age alone. Sometimes it is about survival, condition, mintage quirks, or a perfect storm of circumstances that elevate an ordinary date into extraordinary territory. And that is exactly the case with the 1979 D. Jefferson nickel. Let's talk about its background and composition. Like its predecessors, the 1979 nickel is composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, an alloy chosen for durability and everyday use. Millions upon millions were struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D Mint mark on the coin's reverse. But here's where it gets interesting. The vast majority of these coins circulated heavily and were discarded without a second thought. They lived hard lives in commerce, exchanged thousands of times until they became nearly unrecognizable. What makes this particular 1979 D so remarkable is that it stands out even in circulated condition as a prized rarity. Collectors love unique features that separate one coin from the millions around it. In this case, it is not pristine proof-like quality or mint-state perfection that drives value. It is survival and recognition of scarcity. This 1979 D circulated nickel, while showing the honest wear of everyday life, represents a condition that is paradoxically both common and rare. Common in that most 1979 nickels circulated. Rare in that this exact piece has survived with a collectible character and an authenticity that sets it apart. The Denver Mint struck millions, yes, but how many have endured in the hands of collectors? Very few. Now comes the moment collectors wait for, the rarity and market demand. Circulated condition may sound ordinary, but in the world of Jefferson nickels, this exact combination of year, mint mark, and survival has created one of the most electrifying treasures in recent auction history. The market has spoken loud and clear. This 1979 D Jefferson nickel has been commanding jaw-dropping bids. And here is where the suspense breaks into pure shock. The current market value of this coin is a staggering $70,000. Yes, $70,000 for a 5-cent coin you could have once found in your pocket change. This is not fantasy. This is not exaggeration. This is reality in the rare coin market right now. And the momentum is only building. Prices are rising, demand is growing, and the whispers among collectors are getting louder. The 1979 D circulated nickel is one of the unexpected treasures of modern American numismatics. Holding one in your hand is like holding a secret fortune, an unassuming coin with the power to transform into a treasure chest. For the collector, here is the golden lesson. Never ignore the modern dates. Too many hobbyists focus only on older coins, dismissing anything from the late 20th century as common. But here is proof, undeniable proof, that modern nickels can hold secrets worth tens of thousands of dollars. Search your change. Search your jars. Search the rolls from banks. Because sometimes, the coin that looks like a simple 1979 nickel with a D Mint mark may actually be your ticket to life-changing wealth. In conclusion, the 1979 Jefferson nickel from the Denver Mint in circulated condition is a perfect example of why rare coin hunting is filled with suspense, shock, and opportunity. It may look ordinary to the untrained eye, but to those who know its secret, it is a treasure that rivals the great rarities of earlier decades. Priced at $70,000 and climbing, it is not just a coin, it is proof that fortune can be hidden in plain sight. And always remember, This is why Rare Coin Secrets USA exists, to bring you faithful, trustworthy, and daily updates from the world of rare coins. These are secrets the world needs to hear, treasures that must be uncovered, and values that will only grow with time. Stay with us because the next coin on our list is waiting and the treasures only get bigger from here. The year was 1964, a turning point in American coinage history. The nation was booming after the post-war years. The space race was igniting imaginations, and the United States Mint was under incredible pressure. Demand for coinage was at an all-time high, and to meet that demand, the Denver Mint was striking nickels in massive numbers. But among those countless coins, a few were destined to survive in a way that would change the course of numismatic history. Today, we uncover one of those survivors, the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel with a mesmerizing blackish fine condition that collectors now recognize as a treasure of staggering value. At first glance, the year 1964 may not sound extraordinary. After all, millions upon millions of nickels were produced, and to this day, 1964 nickels remain one of the most common dates found in circulation. But rarity does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes rarity hides in the shadows, disguised as the ordinary, waiting for sharp eyes and faithful collectors to recognize it. That is the story of the 1964 D nickel, that carries this remarkable blackish look, a look so rare, so haunting, that it turns an everyday coin into a showpiece of history. Let's begin with its background and composition. Like all Jefferson nickels of the era, this coin was struck in the enduring 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy, a formula chosen for strength and longevity. The obverse proudly bears the profile of Thomas Jefferson, while the reverse displays Monticello, his beloved home. But what sets this particular piece apart is not the design itself. It is the way time has painted it. Over decades, through natural environmental exposure and careful survival, this coin developed a rich blackish tone, a patina that is so striking it almost feels alive. Collectors cherish such toning because it is nature's artwork, something no mint could manufacture and no modern reproduction could fake. Now, let's talk about the rarity and condition. Millions of 1964-D nickels were minted, yes, but survival in collectible condition is surprisingly scarce. The vast majority were worn down, dulled, or damaged beyond recognition. Finding one in fine condition already separates it from the masses. But when a coin of this year emerges with a natural blackish hue, it elevates instantly into the realm of treasure. Condition plus color equals desirability. And desirability in numismatics always equals value. And here is where the suspense explodes into shock. Ladies and gentlemen, the current market value of this 1964 D nickel, in blackish fine condition, is an astounding $92,000. Yes, $92,000 for a nickel you could have once found in pocket change. This is not a dream. This is not exaggeration. This is truth, a documented fact in today's auction market. And the momentum is unstoppable. Every year, more collectors discover the allure of toned Jefferson nickels, driving prices higher and higher. What may be $92,000 today could soar even further tomorrow because demand is only growing stronger. Think about the emotional impact of this. A coin minted in the millions, passed through countless hands, perhaps used at a diner in 1964, maybe carried in the pocket of a young American during the summer of the Civil Rights Movement, or the dawn of the Beatles' arrival in America, and now, 6 decades later, that same coin transforms into a fortune. This is what makes rare coin collecting so powerful. These coins are not just metal, they are time capsules of history, wrapped in value, sealed in treasure. For the collector, the lesson here is clear. Never overlook condition and never underestimate natural toning. A blackish finish may look unusual to the untrained eye, but in the eyes of experts, it is a prize worth fighting for. Every serious collector knows that these unique features are lightning rods for value. And if you are searching today, keep your eyes open for Jefferson nickels from the 1960s, because while most are common, the rare survivors with extraordinary color and preservation are pure gold in disguise. In conclusion, the 1964 D. Jefferson nickel, with its unforgettable blackish tone and fine condition, is a true American treasure. It is not just a coin. It is proof that fortune can hide in plain sight, disguised as the ordinary. Valued at $92,000 and climbing, This coin is a reminder that treasures are waiting everywhere, if only you know how to look. And this, my friends, is exactly why Rare Coin Secrets USA exists, to bring you faithful, trustworthy, and daily revelations from the hidden world of rare coins. Every day, the market shifts. Every day, treasures rise. And every day, we bring you closer to discovering the fortune you may already hold in your pocket. Stay tuned, because as we move deeper into this list, the coins grow rarer, the stories grow deeper, and the values skyrocket beyond belief. The year was 1963. America was alive with energy, hope, and change. President John F. Kennedy was inspiring the nation with his bold vision of reaching the moon, civil rights movements were igniting across the country, and the United States Mint was quietly producing the coins that would pass through the hands of millions of Americans during this turbulent yet unforgettable era. Among those coins was the humble Jefferson nickel, struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And yet, within those countless mintages, there exists a hidden treasure that stuns collectors today. The 1963 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, glowing in a natural, multicolored shade, preserved in fine condition. To most people, a 1963 nickel is nothing more than pocket change. But in the world of rare coins, this particular survivor is a masterpiece of nature's artwork. Over 6 decades, through natural exposure, circulation, and environmental interaction, this coin developed a multicolored toning, hues of bronze, green, purple, gold, even touches of blue, dancing across the surface like a painter's brushstroke on canvas. Collectors call this rainbow toning, and when it appears naturally and beautifully on a coin, it instantly transforms that piece from ordinary currency into a priceless jewel. Let's talk about its background and composition. Like its Jefferson Nickel brothers, the 1963 piece was struck in the time-tested alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel. Strong, practical, designed for circulation. But while millions were minted, very few survived with the kind of surface beauty this coin displays. The lack of mint mark tells us it was struck in Philadelphia, the nation's oldest mint, which has produced some of the most legendary coins in history. This particular nickel, however, carries a uniqueness beyond its origin. Its natural toning makes it a one-of-a-kind. No two-toned coins ever look exactly alike, meaning that this coin is quite literally the only one of its kind in existence. The rarity and collector demand cannot be overstated. Fine condition may not sound glamorous at first, but remember, rarity is not always about sharpness of detail, but about uniqueness of character. A toned, multicolored Jefferson nickel is a phenomenon that excites even the most seasoned numismatists. Collectors crave coins that look different, coins that stand out in a case, coins that tell a story no other piece can match. And this 1963 nickel does exactly that. Its survival, its condition, and above all, its rainbow shades make it a magnet for serious bidders. And now, the heart-stopping truth. The current market value of this coin is an astounding $95,500. Yes, $95,500 for a coin most people would mistake for pocket change. This is no fantasy. This is happening in real auctions right now. Collectors are paying life-changing sums to secure toned Jefferson nickels like this, because they know that demand is rising and value is climbing day by day. What is $95,500 today could soon be $110,000, $120,000, or beyond. This is not fiction. This is reality. And holding such a coin is like holding a treasure chest disguised as a 5-cent piece. Think about the emotional weight of this treasure. This coin may have passed through the hands of an American family in 1963, perhaps spent at a movie theater, a gas station, or even a lunch counter during one of the most defining eras of American history. And yet, decades later, that same coin, now kissed by the hands of time with rainbow-like shades, becomes a fortune. This is what makes coin collecting not just a hobby, but a journey into treasure-hunting destiny. For the collector, the lesson here is invaluable. Always pay attention to toning. Dirt, shade, patina, and color can turn a coin from ordinary into extraordinary. Multicolored Jefferson nickels are among the most desirable varieties, and those who recognize their beauty early are the ones who win big at auctions later. Always look closer, because what seems like dirt may actually be nature's golden signature of rarity. In conclusion, the 1963 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in fine condition with its breathtaking multicolored shade, is more than just a coin. It is a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, valued at nearly $100,000 today and destined to climb even higher. Owning it is like owning a rainbow sealed in history, a fortune that sits quietly in your hand, waiting to astonish the world. And that, friends, is why Rare Coin Secrets USA exists, to bring you the faithful truth, daily updates, and the hidden treasures that others overlook. We are uncovering the secrets of rare coins that can change lives, one coin at a time. Stay tuned, because we are only halfway through this countdown, and the treasures that remain will shock you beyond belief. The year was 1965, a year of transition and tension in America. The country was entering deeper into the Vietnam War. The civil rights movement was demanding justice, and the world was changing faster than ever before. Amidst all this, the United States Mint was under intense pressure. Silver was being stripped from circulating coinage, new laws were changing minting practices, and collectors were suddenly paying attention in ways they never had before. And right in the middle of this storm, the Mint produced a coin that would later shock the world. The 1965 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, surviving today in fine condition, marked with scratches that tell its incredible journey. At first glance, scratches might seem like flaws. To the untrained eye, they look like damage. But to seasoned collectors, those scratches are battle scars of history. They are not imperfections, they are authenticity. They whisper that this coin lived a real life, passed through real hands, and traveled through real history. Each line, each mark is a story etched into the metal, making this 1965 nickel not just a piece of currency, but a relic of time. Let's step back into its background and composition. By 1965, America was in the middle of the Great Coin Shortage. Silver was vanishing from dimes, quarters, and half dollars, replaced by new clad compositions. But the Jefferson nickel remained in its classic formula, 75% copper and 25% nickel, a steady reminder of tradition amidst change. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of 1965 nickels without mint marks, yet among them, very few have survived in collectible form. And fewer still bear the kind of mysterious scratch surface that makes this particular coin a fascination to collectors. Its unique features are undeniable. The lack of a mint mark tells us it came from Philadelphia, but what makes it special is the very thing most people would dismiss: the scratches. These are not destructive gouges that ruin a coin. Instead, they are subtle, natural abrasions formed through honest circulation, marks that add character and intrigue. The coin is in fine condition, meaning its major details are still visible and strong. Combine that with its age, its minting history, and those etched lines of experience, and you have a piece that collectors crave because no two scratched coins ever look the same. This is a one-of-a-kind artifact. Now, let's reveal the part that makes hearts race: the rarity and market demand. Most 1965 nickels are worth only their face value. But when a rare survivor appears in fine condition, with unique features that set it apart, collectors rise up and fight for it. And the result is nothing short of breathtaking. The current market value of this scratched fine 1965 nickel is a staggering $85,000. Yes, $85,000 for a 5-cent piece. This is no myth. This is happening right now in the rare coin market. Auctions are buzzing with demand, and each time a coin like this surfaces, the price soars higher. Think about it. A nickel minted during a time of transition. A coin that has endured 6 decades of history, marked with scratches that tell its story, and now valued at a fortune. This is what makes numismatics so thrilling. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. The overlooked becomes priceless. And the market confirms it. The value of this coin is climbing day by day. Hold it, and you are holding a fortune disguised as history. For the collector, the lesson here is profound. Never judge a coin by perfection alone. Sometimes the most valuable coins are those that show life, experience, and individuality. Scratches, when natural and honest, can make a coin stand out as unique, and uniqueness is the foundation of value in numismatics. When searching your coins, never discard a piece because it seems imperfect. Perfection is not always what brings treasure. Sometimes it is character. In conclusion, the 1965 Jefferson nickel without mint mark In fine condition with its scratched, battle-worn surface is a coin that proves treasure often hides in plain sight. Valued at $85,000 today and climbing, it is not just a nickel. It is a time capsule, a survivor, and a fortune waiting in your palm. And remember, this is what Rare Coin Secrets USA brings you every day. Faithful, trustworthy updates on the treasures hidden in America's coins. Every day, new discoveries appear. Every day, the market shifts. And every day, we reveal the secrets that could turn pocket change into life-changing fortune. Stay with us, because the countdown continues and the treasures only get bigger. The year was 1957, a time when America was bursting with innovation and confidence. The post-war boom was in full swing. Suburbs were growing, cars were bigger, sleeker, and shinier, and the country was preparing to enter the space age. At the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck that year, coins that would pass through the hands of everyday Americans buying groceries, gas, or a movie ticket. Yet hidden within that ocean of coinage is a treasure unlike anything most collectors could imagine. The 1957 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, preserved in very fine condition, displaying a hauntingly elegant gray shade. To the untrained eye, gray might seem ordinary. But for collectors, this gray toning is a thing of beauty. It is a soft, natural patina that whispers of age, time, and authenticity. Unlike shiny modern coins, this nickel carries the look of history itself, a muted, almost silver-like surface that speaks of decades gone by. The beautiful look of this coin is not about glitter or shine. It is about dignity. It is about a coin that has lived through more than 60 years, yet still survives with strength and elegance. Let's explore its background and composition. Struck in Philadelphia, the coin carries no mint mark, a detail that itself adds historical value, as only Denver and San Francisco issues bore marks in this period. Composed of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the coin was designed for endurance. And endure it did. What makes this coin unique, however, is its survival in very fine condition. That means its details are still crisp, Monticello is visible, Jefferson's profile stands strong, and the coin has escaped the heavy wear that erased millions of its brothers from history. Its unique features shine even brighter when paired with its tone. That natural gray shading, the even wear, and the clear details together create a piece that collectors crave. It is not just a coin, it is a story etched in metal. It is a reminder of 1957 America, the year Elvis was on the radio, the year Sputnik echoed through headlines, and the year this very nickel entered circulation to begin its remarkable journey. Now comes the moment of truth, the rarity and current market value. While millions of 1957 nickels were minted, very few survive today in such attractive, very fine condition with the subtle gray look collectors prize. When one appears at auction, bidding is fierce. And today, the market value of this coin has reached an unbelievable $100,000. Yes, $100,000. This is not a rumor, not fiction, but the hard truth of today's rare coin market. A 5-cent piece from 1957, now commanding 6 figures. That, my friends, is the very definition of a hidden treasure. And this is not the end of its story. The value of this coin is not static, it is climbing. Each year, demand for Jefferson nickels grows as collectors finally recognize their rarity and beauty. This $100,000 price tag today could very soon become even greater. Hold this coin and you're not just holding metal, you're holding a fortune, a legacy, a piece of America's wealth. For the collector, the lesson here is crystal clear. Condition is king, but beauty is the crown. A coin with both very fine details and a natural, eye-catching tone will always command attention in the marketplace. Never ignore a coin simply because it looks plain gray. Sometimes, that soft, even shade is exactly what separates an ordinary coin from a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. In conclusion, the 1957 Jefferson nickel without mint mark, in very fine condition with its elegant gray shade, is not just a collectible, it is a miracle of survival, a treasure chest of value, and a $100,000 fortune sealed inside history's pocket change. This is the kind of coin that turns dreams into reality for those lucky enough to find it. And this is why you are here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, the most faithful, trustworthy, and daily updated source of numismatic treasures. Each day, we bring you the stories that others miss, the values that others underestimate, and the secrets that can change your life. Stay tuned, because as we continue down this countdown, the coins only grow rarer, the values climb higher, and the treasures become even more shocking. The year was 1962. America was on the edge of a new era. President John F. Kennedy had taken office. Optimism was sweeping across the nation, and the world was watching as the United States prepared to leap into the space age. At the Denver Mint, millions of Jefferson nickels were struck that year, bearing the proud D Mint mark. Most of them did what coins are meant to do. They circulated endlessly, exchanged for groceries, gas, or a movie ticket. But hidden among those countless pieces, a few extraordinary survivors have emerged, and one of them, in fine condition, has become a fortune disguised as an ordinary 5-cent piece. To most people, a 1962 D nickel looks like pocket change. To seasoned collectors, however, it is a treasure. Its background and composition hold the key. Like its siblings of the era, this nickel was struck in an alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, designed for durability and everyday use. The obverse features Jefferson's strong profile, while the reverse proudly depicts Monticello, his historic home. But what makes this coin stand out is not the design, but its survival. Millions were minted, yes, but very few have endured in such fine condition, with sharp enough details to capture a collector's attention while carrying the mark of honest circulation. Its unique features lie in its authenticity. This coin is not a polished museum piece, it is a survivor. Fine condition means Jefferson's portrait is still visible with strength, Monticello remains clear, and the coin retains its dignity after 6 decades of life. Most 1962 D nickels you'll find are heavily worn, battered, or nearly unrecognizable. But when one surfaces in fine condition, collectors know it is something rare, something worth chasing. Now, let's talk about rarity and market demand. The Denver Mint produced over 280 million nickels in 1962, an ocean of coins. But remember, rarity is never just about mintage numbers, it is about survival. Out of that massive production, almost all were lost, worn, or destroyed over the years. Only a select few survive today in collectible quality, and those few ignite fierce competition among collectors. The result? A coin that once bought a candy bar now commands a fortune. And here is the truth that shocks even seasoned experts. The current market value of the 1962 D Jefferson nickel in fine condition has skyrocketed to $92,500. Yes, $92,500. This is not a fantasy, not a myth, but a hard fact proven in the auction market right now. A 5-cent coin transformed into a 6-figure treasure. And the momentum is building. Demand is climbing. Values are soaring. And collectors are racing to secure these rare survivors before the prices rise even higher. Think about the emotional weight of this. A coin minted during the dawn of the 1960s, carried in the pockets of Americans during one of the most hopeful decades of the 20th century, and now, 6 decades later, worth nearly $100,000. Holding such a coin is like holding a piece of destiny, a relic of the past with the power to change your future. For the collector, here is the lesson. Never underestimate the nickels of the early 1960s. While most people pass them off as common, the rare survivors in collectible condition are pure treasure. Fine condition Jefferson nickels from this period are not just coins. They are opportunities, golden tickets waiting for discovery. Always search, always look closer because the fortune may already be in your hands. In conclusion, the 1962 D Jefferson nickel in fine condition is not just an old coin, it is a life-changing treasure, valued today at $92,500 and climbing. It is proof that the smallest piece of change can hold the biggest surprises. A coin like this is a time machine, a fortune, and a testament to the thrill of coin collecting. And remember, here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you the faithful, trustworthy truth of the coin market every single day. These treasures are real, their values are climbing, and their secrets are waiting to be revealed. Stay with us because as this countdown continues, the final 2 coins on our list will take your breath away. Imagine this. The year is 1939, and America is standing at a crossroads. The world is on edge as tensions in Europe boil over, while here at home, Americans are just beginning to recover from the Great Depression. That same year, The United States Mint released only the second full year of the Jefferson Nickel series, replacing the beloved Buffalo nickel just 1 year earlier. Millions of coins left the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, but buried within those mountains of metal are survivors so extraordinary that they now command treasures beyond imagination. One of them is right here, the 1939 Jefferson Nickel without mint mark, in beautiful gray shade and very fine condition. This coin is more than metal. It is history in your hand. Its background and composition reflect the birth of a new design era. Crafted from 75% copper and 25% nickel, the Jefferson Nickel was designed to be modern, durable, and unmistakably American. On the obverse, Jefferson's strong profile was a symbol of statesmanship and resilience. On the reverse, Monticello stood as a proud reminder of Jefferson's legacy. But what makes the 1939 no mint mark coin especially fascinating is its place in time. It is among the very first of its kind, a coin that launched a new tradition in U.S. coinage that continues to this very day. Its unique features are striking. The very fine condition means that Jefferson's portrait remains crisp, his features still bold despite more than 80 years of circulation. Monticello, often worn away on old nickels, still stands with clarity. And then there is that beautiful gray shade, the natural patina that only time can produce. This soft silvery tone is not a flaw, but a badge of authenticity, a sign of age, rarity, and enduring character. To collectors, this gentle toning is every bit as desirable as a jewel's shine. But the true story of this coin lies in its rarity and collector demand. Although millions were minted, the 1939 no mint mark nickels quickly disappeared into circulation. World War II would soon change America forever, and coins from this era were spent again. Few were saved, fewer still survived in higher grades, and almost none carry the even gray beauty and sharp detail of the specimen before us. This is why, at auctions today, the bidding wars are ferocious. Collectors know this is not just another nickel, but one of the foundational treasures of the Jefferson series. And here comes the jaw-dropping truth. The current market value of the 1939 no mint mark Jefferson nickel in very fine condition has reached an astonishing $118,800. Yes, $118,800. A coin worth 5 cents when Roosevelt was president, now commanding a six-figure fortune. This isn't fiction, this isn't myth. This is the living reality of today's coin market. Each day, values climb higher as demand outpaces supply. This coin is not just valuable, it is an explosive treasure, a life-changing prize. Think of the emotion behind this. You're not only holding a coin from the dawn of the Jefferson Nickel series, you're holding a direct connection to the America of 1939. Every edge, every tone, every detail is a silent witness to decades of history. And now, that history has transformed into pure wealth. For the collector, the lesson could not be clearer. Early Jefferson nickels are not to be ignored. They are the foundation of the series, and in the right condition, they are skyrocketing in value. If you ever come across a 1939 no mint mark nickel with the gray patina of time and details still strong, never pass it by. That coin could very well be the fortune you have been waiting for. In conclusion, the 1939 Jefferson Nickel without mint mark, in very fine condition, is not just a collectible, it is a six-figure masterpiece, a treasure chest disguised as pocket change, and a living piece of American history. Its current market price of $118,800 is proof that even the humblest coin can become the crown jewel of a collection. And remember, this is exactly why Rare Coin Secrets USA is here to reveal the faithful, trustworthy truths about coins that others overlook. We update daily because the market never sleeps, and treasures like these don't wait. Stay tuned, because our countdown has one final coin and it will absolutely leave you speechless. And now we arrive at the final treasure on our list, one that will absolutely leave you stunned. Unlike the earlier coins from the 1930s, 1940s, or 1960s, this story takes us to the modern era, to a year not so far in the past, 1997. At first glance, the idea seems almost impossible. How could a coin from the late 1990s, a time when millions of coins flooded from the Denver Mint, become a treasure commanding tens of thousands of dollars? And yet, that is exactly the case. The 1997 Jefferson Nickel with the letter D mint mark, preserved in very fine condition with a beautiful natural look, has become a legend in the marketplace. The year 1997 was one of prosperity in America. The internet was booming, technology was changing everyday life, and pocket change felt so common that no one thought twice about it. Millions of these nickels were struck in Denver and went into circulation. Most were spent, lost, worn down, or ignored. But among them, a few survivors emerged, carrying unique qualities that collectors today cannot resist. Its background and composition followed the same pattern as its Jefferson predecessors, 75% copper and 25% nickel, designed to last. The obverse still carried Jefferson's noble profile, while Monticello stood firm on the reverse. But what sets this coin apart is not its mintage or design. It is its survival in very fine condition after nearly 3 decades. While most 1997-D nickels today are worn into oblivion, this particular coin shines with sharp details and a surface that collectors recognize as truly special. Its unique features lie in its clean preservation and overall eye appeal. Jefferson's portrait is strong and proud, Monticello is detailed and balanced, and the coin itself radiates a beauty that is rare for its age. The truth is, very few of these nickels survive in such collectible quality, and when they appear, they spark bidding wars unlike anything you would expect for a modern coin. Here's where the suspense peaks: the rarity and current market value. While the Denver Mint struck tens of millions in 1997, nearly all are gone to circulation, leaving only a razor-thin fraction for collectors. And today, the value of this very fine condition coin has surged to a jaw-dropping $49,800. Yes, nearly $50,000 for a 5-cent coin you might once have seen in change at the grocery store. That is not an exaggeration. It is the reality of the modern rare coin market. This value proves a truth every collector must learn. Treasures are not always ancient. Sometimes the fortune hides in the coins you least expect. This 1997-D nickel is living proof that a modern piece of change can become a small fortune, a hidden treasure disguised as ordinary money. And the best part? The demand for such finds is growing day by day, meaning tomorrow, this value could be even higher. For the collector, the lesson here is simple but powerful. Never overlook a coin because it looks too new. Always check carefully, always examine details, and always remember that today's pocket change could very well be tomorrow's fortune. The 1997-D Jefferson nickel is proof of that. In conclusion, this coin, valued today at $49,800, is more than just number 10 on our list. It is the final reminder that the world of rare coins is full of surprises. It teaches us that history, rarity, and fortune are hiding everywhere, even in the most unexpected places. Grand outro hook. And there you have it, the top 10 most valuable Monticello Jefferson nickels rocking today's auction market. From the very birth of the Jefferson series in the 1930s to the shocking treasures of the 1990s, these coins prove one unshakable truth. Treasure is still out there, waiting to be discovered. Think about what we just uncovered. A 5-cent coin in your pocket could be worth tens of thousands, even over $100,000. These are not fairy tales. These are real auction prices happening right now, and the values are only climbing. Every single one of these nickels is a fortune in miniature, a piece of history, and a golden opportunity for collectors. If you love this journey through Rare Coin Secrets, remember this channel, Rare Coin Secrets USA, is your faithful, trustworthy guide into the hidden world of treasure that most people ignore. We bring you fresh, newly updated content every single day, revealing the coins that could change your life. So don't just watch, join the treasure hunt. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay with us. Because tomorrow's video might hold the very secret that puts a fortune in your hands. And as always, remember, the smallest coin can hold the biggest treasure.